like that. All right, everyone. I tell you, it may be raining outside, but it is fine.
Yes, it is.
Here at the Sea Island Morning Show. I tell you, good morning, everyone. We have a lot to talk about, so you need to turn those radios up. It is a state of emergency here in the District of Columbia. We're talking all about the rain. Yes, we're talking all about the rain that is coming down, and I tell you, we have a show for you this morning. First of all, this is Sea Island from the Sea Island Morning Show. We welcome all of you on this rainy Monday morning. Good morning, Trendy.
Good morning, everyone.
All right, everybody, this is Sea Island and Trendy Lindy. Today, we're talking about welfare reform. Today, what we're talking about is, we're getting ready for the election. And we definitely do apologize because of Hurricane Sandy. A lot of us cannot go out and do that early voting. But, we had a really hot topic in the student body meeting at the Bennett Career Institute this Thursday. We talked about food stamps, housing, public assistance, and Medicare. Now, we only have 1 hour to squeeze in all of our callers. We want to hear from you. If we need food stamps so much, why do we sell them? Is it fair to make money doing hair and still get a paycheck or get a welfare assistance check? And then finally, if we are on assistance, are we lazy? This is the kind of stuff that we talked about this week, Trendy, at the Bennett Career Institute. Now, some of the listeners have already emailed me, Trendy. They emailed me asking me why, if this is the Sea Island Morning Show all about beauty, fashion, and entertainment, why are we talking about food stamps, welfare, assistance? And one of the things that I said to some of those callers and some of those listeners, like MD Wells, one of the things that's important is a lot of the population that comes into the beauty sector, they're already on assistance. They come into the institute so they have a plan to get off of assistance by working an honest 9-to-5 or working a living in the beauty industry. So the reason why we're talking about it today, Trendy, is because a lot of our audience, a lot of our students, a lot of people in the beauty industry, they start off on some kind of public assistance first because they have children. And then from that public assistance, they wean off after they build their clientele in the beauty industry.
That's right.
So this is one of the reasons why we're talking about it. Now, 1-800-450-7876. I want to hear, what are your thoughts in reference to, we're talking about public assistance today. A lot of people talk about the food stamps. We've been talking about food stamps a lot in the campaign, and they've been talking about welfare. And in our student body meeting, we had students, I don't know if Mr. Bimbo is listening today, but he had an awesome story about how he was in the military and they gave him 1 year of assistance. Once that year is over, he must at that time get off of the assistance, and now he's on his own. So one of the things that the students were talking about was they were talking about maybe we should have some terms on welfare where it shouldn't be you on welfare, your mother on welfare, your grandmother on welfare. It should be time limits on welfare. So that's some of the things that, we want to talk about. Is there a time limit on welfare? Also, now Paul Ryan, who is running with Mitt Romney, said this year he proposed slashing billions in food stamp spending. So I'm going to talk to you if you're collecting food stamps. If you're getting food stamps today, I want to hear your thoughts. Also, Romney told CNN, I'm not concerned about the very poor. Creating jobs help poorest people or help poorest workers, not cash handouts. So is it a handout to receive welfare or public assistance? Do we feel that a lot of people need to get their food stamp benefits slashed? All those things we want to talk about. Let's go to the phone line. I do have some announcements, but let's go to the phone line. Caller, good morning. Welcome to the Sea Island Morning Show. Hello? Caller, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, now talk to me. What is your take on, we're talking about food stamps, housing, public assistance, and Medicare. How long should we stay on assistance? You know, if we need our food stamps so much, you know, why are we selling them? And is it fair to do hair in the salon and still get a public assistance check? What's your comment, caller?
Well, I think it's essential to have it. However, the time limit should be based on who is not doing what they're supposed to. Bill Clinton put into place welfare to work. Keyword is welfare to work. You're working to get off of assistance. So if people are in school or working to get off of it, then fine. You have stipulations for that. However, nobody knows exactly how long that's going to take because jobs are few and far in between at this time. Now, back then, plenty of jobs. Then there was a time limit. Now, all of a sudden, DC wants to put in a time limit for 5 years. That doesn't make sense when DC has no job. So my whole
let me ask you this, caller. So now, you know, you have a problem with the 5-year limit for welfare. Now, my question is, instead of, let's say there aren't any jobs out there, what about going to school to get some kind of training during that 5-year period so you can become self-sufficient and create your own job?
Well, that's all well and good, but again, becoming self-sufficient does not happen overnight, and it takes longer than 5 years. So you're in school for a year and a half to get trained in maybe 2 years, but you still got to go out there and get that job or go out there and still sell yourself to get that self-sufficiency clientele for the hair industry and or makeup industry. That still takes time. So 5 years to me is not long enough.
Okay.
It's too short.
Okay. All right, caller. Thank you so much. Keep listening to the Seattle Morning Show. All right, everybody. Now, that caller just said that 5 years was too short. I want to hear from you. 1-800-450-7876. Trendy, what is your take? Now, the caller just said 5 years was not long enough. And to me, you know, I don't know. Talk to me, Trendy, because to me, 5 years is a whole lot of time to get your career in place. But then, is it a lot of time?
Well, it appears to me that it's more than enough time if it depends on the person's mentality. If you go in knowing I only have 5 years, then you're going to go in, do your best in school, and, you know, graduate and make some things happen. Like you said, if you're going to do a trade, that's up to you. We find even in our salons that, you know, some of these people are on booth rent, but they don't want to pass out flyers. They don't want to hustle. The hunger is not there. But is it not there because they're receiving some supplemental income?
And that is exactly what I was going to say, Trendy. I believe, and this is Seattle here, that part of the problem that we're having, and I'm not talking about nobody, but I'm just speaking my mind. Part of the problem that we have in Trendy is public assistance, because we are the real workers. A lot of people are not working as hard as they could or as hard as they can because they are receiving extra income on the side. If there were no public assistance checks out there and you were in the salon working, this is for MD who said he didn't understand how this topic had to do with the Seattle Morning Show. If you are in the salon working like you're supposed to, if you're not getting food stamps, if you're not getting public assistance to help you, then you're going to stay in the shop longer.
That's right.
You're going to make sure that you take more clients.
That's right.
You're going to make sure that you hustle and bustle out there every day. But many stylists who are still receiving assistance, they leave at 2 or 3 o'clock because they know they got something coming from them.
Like they work at a bank. They don't work at a bank.
Exactly. Let's go to the phone lines. I still haven't gotten my announcements out because we got to talk about the beautiful wedding this weekend.
Okay,
but anyway,
yes, we must.
But we done got hot this morning. Caller, talk to me. Today we're talking about food stamps, housing, public assistance, and Medicare. What's your take on it? Hello?
Good morning. Good morning.
All right, talk to me.
Hi, Chad. This is Ray Bell from the Whole Project.
All right, Ray, talk to me.
Hey, listen, I wanted to respond to the young lady that made a call about 5 years not being long enough. I gotta be honest and just be blunt. That's insane. That's crazy talk. There's no way that we could be in the year 2012 and say that 5 years is not long enough to find employment. We're in Washington, D.C. There are thousands of jobs available to people. The problem is people are unskilled and unqualified for the jobs that exist. The days of just getting a job cleaning up, working in retail are over. The folks that get those jobs, they maintain those jobs for years. They never give them up.
Yes.
If you're looking for employment, you better find some specialized skills that will allow you to be competitive and actually find jobs that really do exist. And it doesn't have to be IT, because people always relate me to technology and jobs in information technology. I like that industry because I know the jobs pay well. You can learn those skills inside of a year. There's plenty of jobs doing it. But there's healthcare, there's jobs in finance. We cannot allow our community to believe that there are no jobs. A good example, I have had students that have graduated from my program that were getting $428 from the TANF program. Inside of a year, some of those kids make $50,000 a year. And if you don't believe me, I'm happy to email you right now the offer letters to prove it. I'm talking about people that live in the heart of war. I've seen it happen. Right. Those kids were dedicated and committed to improving their condition and not making excuses.
And Ray Bell, let me just say this. We have jobs available right at Bennett Babies Child Development Center. We have jobs available right at the Bennett Career Institute. We have jobs available at all of our Sea Island salons and spas. So you're right. I need you to turn your radio down. There are jobs out there, but the situation is, do people really want to work? But listen, turn the radio down, because I got to say this. Listen, Raymond, I just want to say really quickly, all of our lines are lit up, but listen, you have to someday, one Monday, spend some time with us in the studio, because listen, everybody, this is Ray Bell from the Hope Project. He has an outstanding program. They covered him in the Washington Post. He's been on a lot of media outlets. I've seen the interview that you did that was on the webpage. You are doing some fantastic stuff. Give us 30 seconds, because I got to go. Tell us exactly what the Hope Project does, and if there's a listener listening, how can they be a part of that?
The Hope Project is a very unique training program. It's not even a training program. It really is a movement. It's a movement to change the lives of young people. Since 2009, we've helped several dozen young people take ownership and control of their own destiny. Our average student is only 22 and a half years old, yet their average salary right now collectively is $35,000 a year.
Awesome.
I have kids as young as 19 years old that make $37,000, $38,000 a year, and they've never stepped foot in anybody's college, and it's primarily for one reason. They committed themselves and didn't allow excuses to prevent them from being successful.
Okay, so how can somebody get in touch with you, Raymond?
They can call 202-449-8663, but the best thing to do is go to the website, hopeprojectdc.org.
hopeprojectdc.org. Thanks, Ray Bell, and definitely keep listening to the show. All right, everybody, listen, today this is the Sea Island Morning Show. We're talking about food stamps, housing, public assistance, Medicare. How long are we supposed to stay on assistance? Are we lazy? I want to hear from you. 1-800-450-7876. Caller, you're live on the air. Caller?
Hello?
Yes, talk to us.
How you doing, Mr. Bennett? This is Mr. Cooper, one of your barbers at the Sea Island Barber Salon.
Okay, very good. So, Mr. Cooper, really quickly, and thanks for calling in. One of the things, radio listeners, that we're doing is part of what we do here at the morning show. That's why Trendy Lindy and I came out in this Hurricane Sandy to make sure that we continue to instill awesome hope in the lives of all of our listeners. Mr. Cooper is on the line because he is at our Sea Island Barber Salon. And I thank God because I've been doing a tribute to working women. How can we were offering 50% off to every woman to try to help them beautify themselves, because many times as a working woman, you take care of the church, you take care of your children, you take care of everyone, but you never have time for yourself. And I thank God today that Mr. Maurice Cooper is one of the barbers at the 923 U Street location. And tell us what you have decided to join my campaign. We got about 30 seconds. Tell us what you're going to do at the 923 U Street location.
Yes, I'm also promoting the 50% off discount on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. With this ad, you can get a discount haircut. I say it's a holiday season. You should come get brought back to life. You know, it's my duty to help the client out. I feel this quality is never an accident. It's always the result of a high intentions, sincere effort, intelligent direction, and skillful execution. It represents a wise choice of many alternatives. And I just say you should just come get a discount haircut and come check me out.
All right.
And you would never want to see another barber again.
Gotcha. All right, we got to go to commercial break. That was Mr. Cooper at 923 U Street. Haircuts are $12 on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. All right, everyone, this is the C. Allen Morning Show. We got to go to break, but we'll be right back. 1-800-450-78news.com.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is the C. Allen Morning Show here with C. Allen, and this is yours truly, Trendy Lindy. Our topic this morning, we're talking about welfare, food stamps, housing, and public assistance. But before we get back into that topic, we want to take a sidebar and talk about the beautiful wedding that we attended on Saturday. Mr. Robert Bennett and Sharice Bennett. It was absolutely phenomenal. We want to say congratulations again. It was such a beautiful wedding. The colors were beautiful. The decorations were beautiful. But most of all, the bride, she was beautiful. It was such a wonderful, wonderful wedding. But I must say that the thing that really blessed me in watching everything, I had the opportunity to be at the door and greet everyone and have them to sign the book and everything, and it was such a exciting time. But the thing that I enjoyed most was Mr. Robert Bennett. Mr. Robert Bennett's face just lit up the entire time. It was like she was the only female in the entire room, and you could just see the love and the excitement and everything that he had just, marrying, taking on this bride. And it was just such a blessing being a woman to see a man just so in love. And one of the things he said was, during the reception, he said, you guys will never know how much this woman means to me, what she means to me. And it was just such a blessing to hear. I'm one of those hopeful romantics. But Mr. Bennett, what did you get from the wedding?
All right, everyone. On Saturday, my brother Robert Bennett Jr., he was he got hitched. He got married for the second time. And when I tell you, I just believe that God doesn't make any mistakes. They look like a beautiful couple. The wedding was extraordinary. Yes. Everything was absolutely awesome. I told my brother, I said, I don't know if they're listening. Their plane got canceled today. They were on their way to Turks and Caicos for their honeymoon. And the plane got canceled because of Hurricane Sandy. But I definitely believe that the most important thing, Linda, that stuck out with me was the fact that he's very happy.
Yes, you can see that.
Very happy. And then most importantly, not only is he very happy, but then also his lovely bride is very happy. And then let's talk about the bride for just 1 second.
Okay.
When I tell you that Sharice Lawrence, now Bennett, when I tell you, and we're going to get back to our topic, but when I tell you, the thing that got me was, count you listen here, the thing that got me was when we was expecting her to come from the back trending.
Yes.
Of the auditorium, and how she came from the elevator, the glass elevator, from up in the sky. It seemed like out of nowhere, a beautiful bride just came out of nowhere, and the elevator brought her down. And I said that's what I'm talking about when we talk about making a grand entrance.
Yes, it was beautiful.
I said that Sharice Lawrence Bennett is undercover. She's an undercover drama queen, baby. Because I don't know who in the world would have thought of coming from out the sky like that, and then to look at my dear brother and to see the smile on his face when she appeared. And when I tell you, those very wedding dresses were absolutely adorable. Gorgeous. The wedding party was beautiful.
It was.
A big shout out to Rashida Franklin, who did the makeup. She was extraordinary.
Yes.
A big shout out to Rhonda Baker for just, the whole.
Coordinating.
Yes.
She did a wonderful job.
Yes, because at one point, it was so funny, because, and we got to get back, but at one point she had came over and fixed my jacket, and she didn't want Robert to know. She says, under her voice, and this is how a wedding coordinator supposed to be, she says, we have a slight problem. And I said, what's the problem? She says, and then she went on to discuss what the problem was. And I said, baby, that's the business. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, baby, because the Bennett's will show off and show out at any given moment.
Yeah.
So I said, don't worry about it, Rhonda. I'll take care of it. And she did it so Robert wouldn't even, so he didn't hear anything like that. So everything could be beautiful. So their day was absolutely beautiful. And I tell you, believe it or not, all of my listeners, C. Allen loved to take over. He takes over the family. He takes over at work. He takes over at home. And for me not to know anything about the wedding, but 2 days before, my brother said, all right, you got to go get your tuxedo and the wedding rehearsal and blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, you would have thought it was a C. Allen event.
That's true.
Because everything went as smooth can be. And I cannot believe, Count, that I had nothing to do with it. And everything was so wonderful. But you know what? I say this and we're moving on. I say this to my brother all the time, and I hope him and his wife is listening, his new wife is listening, and I hope that she kind of stay on him, because I was telling Trendy Lindy on yesterday that a lot of great ideas that come out of my mouth came from my brother. A lot of wonderful, wonderful ways to conduct business and to organize a business and all of that. It comes from my brother. I sit down with my brother and he will give me, and I listen to him. I pretend like I'm not listening. Then I go upstairs and turn it into a C. Allen said. But it was really Robert Bennett. So a lot of times I salute him today. When I say the wind beneath my wings, sometimes Robert Bennett is that person who does not get the glory, doesn't get the shine, doesn't get opportunities to get in front of thousands of people, but that wisdom and knowledge is there. And I just want him to blossom a little more and be able to share his thoughts and let him get the glory in reference to God gets the glory, but you know what I mean.
Yes.
Let him get what was due to him, because a lot of those ideas and things that I have, it came from him. So congratulations, Robert and Sharice. And Sharice Lawrence, I tell you, all of the housing, the authority people were there from her job, and the Bennett Career Institute showed up. And then, Lord, the only thing I'm gonna say is, it's always your cousins who shut the party down. Lord have mercy, if they would not get off that dance floor. Count, I leaned over and told Sharice, sweetie, you better get used to it, because you wouldn't welcome the Bennett family. Robert Bennett tried to play it off and say it was that Crestwell, North Carolina water. I don't know what it was, but them Bennetts know how to show off.
Yes.
All right, everybody, we got to get back to topic, but congratulations to Robert and Sharice. Job well done. All right. All right, everybody, listen. Now, today what we're talking about is food stamps, housing, public assistance, and Medicare. How long do we stay on assistance? If we need food stamps so much, why do we sell them? Is it fair to make money doing hair and still get a check? And the question goes back to, are we being lazy? Now, we had a big discussion offline about this 5-year thing. One of our callers called in and said that 5 years wasn't long enough. And one of the things, and to me, 5 years is way long enough, in my opinion. But one of the things that Count said, our executive over here, he mentioned that some people, because of the lack of education, they don't have a plan. They do not have a plan. So the 5 years is a small amount of time if they don't know what they're doing.
That's true.
So one of the things that I closed our student body meeting at the Bennett Career Institute, I explained to them that it's all about getting some education, because if you have education, now you have a plan in order to get off of assistance. But if you don't have a plan, if you're not educated, people only do what they do.
That's right.
We're going to go to the phone. We're going to go to the phone line. Caller, good morning. This is the C. Allen Morning Show. We got a hot topic here. We're talking about food stamps, housing, public assistance, and Medicare. Caller, talk to us.
Good morning.
We got two.
Siobhan, how you doing this morning?
All right, Siobhan. Okay, now listen here. Now, Siobhan, first talk to me about the comment, and then I will definitely talk about what you're calling for. What is your take on, Siobhan, the food stamps, housing, public assistance, and Medicare, and in relation to the beauty industry? What's your take?
Well, I do believe that sometimes we forget that it is an assistance. It's supposed to assist you into doing something more in your life. We get too comfortable and complacent with things that we have, and we become a victim of the system.
Okay. All right, everybody, and that's another thing that we discussed. We discussed about the people. There's a small percentage of people that's really taking advantage of the system, and we don't want that to overshadow the people who really need assistance. Now, speaking of needing assistance, Siobhan is the creative director of the Sea Island Salons and Spas at 2100 Martin Luther King Avenue. Siobhan, I thank God that she is the other Sea Island that has taken on my vision about being a tribute to working women and helping them to achieve that great look at half the price. One of the things about the Martin Luther King location, which is 2100, it's right across from the big chair. The awesome thing about that location is Siobhan is doing pampering for kids. Talk to us about your pampering for kids and the special that you have this week really quickly.
All right, well, what we have going on for the little ones is that we're doing parties of 6 where you bring your kids in and they get pampered, they get their nails painted, they get a mini pedicure, facials, and the birthday girl and her best friend get their hair done in these packages. And I think it's a wonderful way of teaching the young ones on how to take care of their hair and skin. It's an introduction to it.
Okay, very good. And then what are you doing for the working woman real quickly?
For the working woman, what we have is 50% off all services for our new clients, just so you can get your hair done by a professional. A lot of us in these troubling times can't even afford to go get our hair done. And I hear the stories every day. And the ladies who leave my chair are just so happy that they are able to afford to get their hair done.
Okay, very good. All right, so what we're going to do, Siobhan, we have to go because we had a hot topic today. But listen, we're going to give out that number at the end. So we want all of our listeners, get your pen and paper ready because we're going to give you numbers to the barber shop, Sea Island Barber Salon at 923, and we're going to give you the number to the Martin Luther King location. We got to go to a commercial break, but when we come back, I want you to call me now, 1-800-450-7876. We're talking about welfare reform.
Welcome back to the Sea Island Morning Show. This is Trendy Mindy here with Sea Island. And this morning we're talking about public assistance, housing, food stamps, and Medicare. I believe we have someone on the line, Count. Caller, good morning. Good morning, caller. Are you here?
Hello.
All right. Good morning, caller. Talk to us. Today we're talking about food stamps, housing, public assistance, and Medicare. What's your comment, caller?
Oh, well, my comment is just when you know better, you do better. And I believe that people who are exposed to other things, they may have to get on public assistance. But once you're...
Hello? Okay, I think we lost that caller. So, caller, if you can, call us back here so we can finish getting there because I had a question for you. Okay. So, caller, the last caller, we want you to call back. So, listen here. So, now, one of the things that I think I want to jump back on really quickly, Trendy, is the work ethics. Mm-hmm. But before we get to work ethics, let me just throw some statistics out there so people can understand. When we talk about public assistance, 38.8% of people on public assistance are white people, Caucasians. 37.2% is black, 17.8% is Hispanic, 2.8% is Asian, and other is 3.4%. Now, what I thought was interesting was the time on assistance. Less than 7 months was 19%. 7 to 12 months was 15.2%. 1 to 2 years was 19.3%. 2 to 5 years, trending, it's important, is 26.9%. And over 5 years was 19.6%. How many children in the house? 43% on assistance had 1 child. 30.70 had 2 children. 15.8 had 3. And 4 or more was 10.3. And the largest number of the ages of the mother who was on public assistance was between 20 and 29, which was almost 50%. It was 47.9%. So let's get back to the first caller who said to us that 5 years wasn't enough. One of the things that I feel, Trendy, and you tell me what you think because there's 2 sides to it. Number one, I have a lot of people, and I know a lot of people, that do not give 120% because they are receiving some kind of assistance. because they're telling us that you can receive assistance based on your income. So if you're making $8, $9, $10 an hour and you have children and you're only working 30 hours a week and things of that nature, that you can still get assistance. But what it's telling me also is, and tell me if I'm wrong, caller, you know, see, Alan isn't always right, 1-800-450-7876. But tell me if I'm wrong, because I feel that sometimes that is a handicap, because I see that the new worker, as a business owner, the new worker do not even complete 40 hours a week. They're calling out every single week. And to me, because they are also receiving assistance.
I agree with that. I've seen it too many times where the stylists are taking off and they take off for any kind of reason, because there's a birthday party, they have a graduation, all type of reasons why they take off, where back in the day you would not take off. You would work. You would be in when the doors were open. You would shut down the salon. You would work on weekends, holidays. You would do what you had to do to make sure you made that money to pay those bills and to provide for yourselves. But now it seems, I don't know if it's just public assistance or if it's because they have a significant other that's helping them as well. But the hunger and the drive definitely doesn't seem to be there like it was back in the day.
And it's not, and I'm glad you said that, Trendy. And it's not just in the beauty industry, but I'm talking about in the child care field. We have 2 daycare centers, and some of that is the same. I'm talking about just in general, people who are making just a certain amount of money, who can receive assistance, or who are receiving assistance. Those are the ones that I'm talking about. That are they really giving 120% on their day job? I've never seen stylists, going back to the hair salon, I've never seen stylists that ready to go at 5 o'clock. Oh, I can't take anybody else. I would never forget Maria, one of our listeners, who came all the way from Wardolph, and she bought, it was herself and her 3 daughters. They wanted everything from weaves to relaxers and all that kind of stuff. I'm talking about really high tickets. And they end up turning the girl down because they said, oh, well, we can do one, but it's too late. We can't do everybody. And it was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'm trying to figure out, where are my ride or die soldiers? Where are my hairstylists who know how to? Now, I understand that we don't want to be in the salon all day and all night, but we're not going to turn any money down. A lot of times we turn that money down because we have the food stamps to help us out. You know, we have the assistance. We have those other things. So my comment today for everyone is that, to me, it's all about getting some education, getting some training under your belt, so you do not have to be on assistance forever. On our statistics, it says over 5 years is 19.6. That's 20% of the people who are on assistance over 5 years. The one thing Count said, which was important, he said that sometimes 5 years isn't enough if you're stuck, if you're in a situation where you don't have a way to get out of that. And a lot of times, a lot of people don't even know where to start to get a plan.
That's true.
And we talked about this Thursday for all of my Bennett career students that are listening, because it was a very heated conversation in the auditorium. You know, and we talked about how it is important that we figure out, where do we begin? And I said that's something that I created at the Bennett Career Institute. It's called a Date with Success series. Free classes on the weekends to train students to make sure that if they have a blind date or a regular date with success, that they meet that date and marry that date. How can we make our students more successful? It starts with telling them, you need to figure out what your passion is. You need to figure out what kind of plan do you have. If you don't have a plan, let's make up a plan. Yes. And I always start with discount. I say, well, talk to me. What do you like doing so much that you don't have to get paid for? Because oftentimes that's where you start realizing what your passion is. It could be singing. It could be cooking. It could be all kinds of things. That's why there are food star networks. That's why there are celebrity singers and stylists. It all depends on what is it that you love to do. Once you figure out what you love to do, then let's devise a plan on from there.
That's right. That's right. And we were talking about that earlier, that so many people do not have a plan. They don't know how to devise a plan. Well, you know some people who can help you get a plan. For those of you who attend the award-winning Bennett Career Institute, Mr. Bennett, every Thursday give like a motivational speech to just, ignite some fire in those who may, just be struggling and moving along pretty slow. But, Mr. Bennett is an awesome person to help devise a plan if you don't have one. And you have probably some people in your lives, your mothers and some other people who can help you, get a plan. But a plan is definitely necessary, because if you don't have something to aim at, you will fall for anything.
And what we talked about on the way in was, where's the anchor?
Yes.
Now, I'm not trying to preach, and we're about to go to commercial soon, but where I'm talking about, where is the anchor? Because, see, a lot of the young folks now, and all of you seasoned folks that are listening, you have a calling, you have a duty. A lot of these young folks, they don't have nobody to turn to.
Yes.
They don't have no one. They don't. A lot of them do not attend church.
That's right.
They do not have a pastor. So who they listen to are their peers, and they listen to the television.
Mm-hmm.
But where is that anchor? If you don't have an anchor, what happens? You are flowing through the sea, just going whichever way the wind is blowing.
That's right.
But you have to have that anchor that is going to keep you grounded.
Yes.
We are the grandmothers. Get out the club and start training your grandchildren on the do's and the don'ts, who to stay with, who to go to, who not to go to. We need an anchor. All right, everybody, this is C. Allen. We got to go to commercial break. Got to pay some bills. We got to pay some bills. All right, everyone, this is the C. Allen Morning Show with C. Allen and Trendy Lindy. We'll be right back after these messages.
Mary Harris. Welcome back to the C. Allen Morning Show. This is Trendy Lindy here with C. Allen, and we have a few callers on. We're going to take the first caller now. Caller, good morning. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, talk to us, caller.
Good morning, C. Allen and Lindy. This is MD.
All right, MD, talk to us today.
Real quick now, for those of you who don't know him, who MD is, I am the senior admissions person at Bennett Career Institute. That means that I recruit students for our classes for cosmetology, barber, and makeup. Can I say this? I hear people come to my office all day long who have been laid off, who have all kinds of college degrees, have all this training, and they still cannot find a job. Now, to piggyback on what you said earlier, C. Allen, about doing something that you love, if you love to do hair, you've always wanted to be a stylist, a barber, or a makeup artist, Bennett Career is the place that you need to go for your training. Now, in my own opinion, this is my own opinion, when you do hair and you do makeup, you should always be working. People going to get their hair done if they don't do nothing else. People need to get their hair done when they're looking for a job. They need to get a hair done when they get a job. People need to get their hair done when they're living. People need to get their hair done even when they're dead.
All right.
Okay, all right.
And I'm saying this, at Bennett Career, if you really want to be there, you should be there. We do have financial aid available for those who qualify. If you have little ones, we have daycare, children from 6 weeks up to 5 years of age. We're metro accessible. We have free parking. We provide your tools, and we also have job placement.
Okay.
So my thing is, if you want to do hair, if you want to be a makeup artist, there's no reason why you should not be there, because people are going to get their hair done, whether they're working or not working. Somebody's going to get some money to get their hair done, true or false.
True.
And
There's
that's
a hair salon and barbershop on every corner in D.C. and Maryland, so there's no reason, especially if you get your license, that you should not be working, making money.
Exactly. So, MD, really quickly, because we have a couple more callers and our time is almost up. Tell me, what is your take on the first caller who said that 5 years wasn't enough to be on assistance, on public assistance?
In my own personal opinion, 5 years is more than enough time, especially if you go to hair school. You're only going to be there for a year. You're training at the facility for 1 year, so that means you got 4 years to establish your clientele. Now, if you can't establish a clientele in 4 years, then you shouldn't be doing any hair.
Okay. All right, MD. All right, everybody. That was MD Wells. We thank you, MD, for calling in. I want you to stay out of Hurricane Sandy. All right, we're going to go to the next caller. Caller, good morning. What we're talking about is food stamps, housing, public assistance, and Medicare. Caller, what's your comment?
Yes, my comment is that 5 years is way too much, and it's a lot of programs out here that help you with job placement. So that's just an excuse to sit home and be on a bus.
Okay.
Because I used to be on it, and I was on it for 6 months. That 6 months killed me. I went to work and been working ever since, and my son is 23 years old.
Wow. Okay.
And I'm still working.
Okay, so what you're saying is that the 6 months that you were on the air, 6 months that you was on public assistance, you used that for you to gain, for you to have an opportunity to become employed, and since you became employed, you put away the public assistance, and you've been working ever since.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So let me ask you this final question here. So now, one of the things that we said that was kind of, we want to know, how do we deal with, do you feel that more people are abusing the system, or do you feel that the people who are on assistance really need assistance? What is your take on the abusing of the system, or do you feel that more people really need the assistance, but your issue may be the time?
They are abusing the assistance. They have so many employment programs, it's ridiculous. They have Minnesota Avenue where they put you in all types of programs. They give you a stipend, they give you money. As you be on a job for 30 days, you get a bonus. 90 days, you get a bonus. 6 months, you get a bonus, and you file taxes. They are taking it for abuse. They just making excuses, having these kids. Then they get upset with the government. You can't get upset. You have to be a woman or man. Get out there and get a job. Don't make it a career being on public assistance. You're not getting that 6 months. I was in school, and I was working part-time and going home as a full-time mom. So that's no excuse. And I was handling an infant, no. And going to school to finish getting a high school diploma.
Gotcha.
So they just abusing us.
All right. Thank you so much, caller. All right, everyone. That was it for us today in reference to the calls. Caller? Yes. Okay, everyone. That was it for us today. So listen to me today. Basically, what we wanted to do here on the Sea Island Morning Show was we wanted to bring some awareness. It's all about getting your voice heard, but it's most important that you must vote. A lot of people say my little vote is not going to count. Your vote is going to count. In one of the elections, I believe it was the 2000 election, it was a difference of 537 votes. You have to go out and vote. You have to go out and vote. It is crucial. So listen, just to recap really quickly in my last 2 minutes. One, it is crucial that if you are a male and you want to pamper yourself, it's your duty because you're worth it. The 923 U Street location on Tuesdays and Wednesdays is $12 off on haircuts, not on the basement, but on the first floor. Make sure you visit them. That number there is 332-2526. Tuesdays and Wednesdays, hair price for the men. Also, if you are a woman and you want to take advantage of our Tribute to Working Women special, you can call Siobhan, 202-678-1009. That is the Martin Luther King location. Half off, 50%, 2100 Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue Southeast is directly across from the big chair.
Yes. We also still are currently offering this wonderful special at our signature salon, and that number there is 202-265-1772.
All right, now make sure everybody you go to the website CALANmorningshow.com and make sure you like the page. We have on November 18th the benefit for Washington Hospital Center Cancer Institute. The tickets are $10, and we're also accepting your wigs. We want you to turn in your wigs so we can clean them and style them and give them to some wonderful cancer survivors. All right, everybody, my time is up. I have to go. I want you to be careful, be safe during this hurricane season. And remember, pamper yourself because it's your duty.
Because you are worth it.
Have a good week, everyone.
Bye-bye.